बंधू आणि भगिनींनो,
Are we live? Are we live? Yay, we're live.
are we?
Yeah, we're live.
Are we really?
Are we really? Yeah, boy. It's receiving content. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, I turned off the ultra low latency thing. Oh, damn. No, I thought we had like the Power Rangers thing. No?
Usain Bolt. Let's make this the most cringe-worthy
No, let's not.
episode.
No, let's not.
I have so much energy. Like, I could make this so bad right now.
No, just let's not. Because you're going for a party after this?
Yes.
So,
And I have not pre-gamed.
it's not?
Yeah,
It's not.
no, but let's just
Wait, why can't I
do
stop
this.
this? Oh yeah, now it's stopped.
Let's just do this, guys.
Alright, let's do this. Hey everyone, welcome to the Objective Stream. My name is Nikhil. This?
Is Anuj.
Yes. And who is very perky today and lively.
Yes.
Quick few disclaimers. There's only one today, so
Oh, yes.
quick disclaimer.
Quick disclaimer. Very quick.
Yeah, very quick. We have potty mouths. We may say words that you may not necessarily like. So if you're around children or if you have sensitive hearing, you may want to close the stream or wear headphones or earphones, whichever the case is. And with that out of the way, as you will realize, we aren't drinking any beverages today on the
It's
show.
just a sad day for beverages everywhere.
Absolutely. Primarily because I thought he was going to be driving after the stream, so I planned, okay, let's not drink anything, let's grab a few healthy beverages and drink water today.
But he's showing like a not
What?
see-through bottle.
Yeah, but they know it's like, okay, like I would
And
put
now he's just
water.
expecting people on the internet to trust other people on the internet.
Yes, because we can.
Wanga.
What? By the way, we are just not talking to the air. There is another person sitting there. We can
Unfortunately.
disclose who that is, but that's the case. All right, so let's
Let's
move
go
on.
into the first topic, which starts with...
Oh my God, he's talking to us by typing in a word pad.
Yeah, I know. It's just sad, man. Like, at the end of the show, we're just gonna take the camera and show
Yeah,
you.
like just like
Slightly.
very
Yeah.
covertly.
No, but it's okay. It's just our groupie.
Yeah, it's our groupie.
So it's like we are in a band and we have groupies.
Yeah, let's start a podcast.
So okay.
Yes, alright, so let's get to the show itself. We have a lot of topics lined up today, all the way from him
Google.
wanting to discuss a lot of things
Yes.
to talking about what reviews you can expect in the coming month on the channel, because fortunately it's the weekend coming up and I have a lot of free time to shoot videos, so that's going to be happening. Got some new gear to shoot videos with, which
Oh, yeah.
we
Oh,
won't
yeah.
be disclosing immediately, but we're going to be talking about one of them, which I have right
I
here.
don't even know what's in the
Yeah, you
pouch.
don't know. He doesn't know what's in this. So, all right. So let's get started with the topics, and then we'll eventually go to the what we are watching this week. But let's come back to the topics. Google
The first
says
topic, yes, the
it'll
first-
take steps to ensure that humans are not fooled when they get called by software bots that can convincingly mimic the human voice. Obviously, Google is referring
Reacting.
to Google Duplex here.
Yes, and it's
And-
reacting.
Not just reacting, but it's a very knee-jerk reaction to the whole situation.
I mean, we talked about this in a previous podcast where I said that I don't care if I'm talking to a bot or not.
Okay.
And we had discussion about what are the implications of that and
Right.
stuff. And but it looks like mostly it has been negative reaction by press and bloggers and everyone.
By everyone
Yeah,
except Google.
except Google. And now they've made it clear that we are going to be nice. We're going to play nice and tell you if you're actually communicating with the robot.
But here's the thing. Did you read the one about where people kind of figured out that the whole situation was faked?
Yeah, unless Google comes out and says that we faked it. I'm just going to be a little skeptical. But I read one or two good posts. One from John Gruber, Daring Fireball,
Yes.
where he kind of went on to say, that maybe it wasn't actually a demo. It was just a setup.
Or worse, it was pre-recorded in a studio.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like by it was setup. Setup is probably a bad word to use. Incorrect
okay.
word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I see what you're trying to say.
So
Alright.
there have been blogs about how people felt that it was sudden and it didn't, like, there was no chatter about it or anything like that, and then all of a sudden they have this demo. Sure, it's fancy, it gets everyone talking, which is what Google wants.
PR. That's all that matters for them, because quite honestly, there wasn't a lot of interesting stuff at Google I/O this year. What do you think?
Right.
Like, even from a technical standpoint.
Okay, so the Google Assistant with screen was interesting, but that happened at CES anyways.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a Google I/O thing. Then they had the Android TV dongle, but I mean,
they didn't really talk about it much.
Yeah, and it's like a developer thing anyways. So I don't know what was like.
But again, this isn't their consumer
maybe the smart
event.
Gmail thing.
Okay, yeah. So maybe the smart Gmail thing.
But yeah, Google I/O is probably not a consumer.
It's a consumer thing. It's a more developer-focused event. Like the Windows event or WWDC that's coming up.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to have another event soon where, like last year, they had launched the Pixel 2.
Okay.
Something like that for
Okay.
Pixel 3 and maybe some other devices. So last year they did that camera and Pixel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
What happened to it?
Yeah, exactly. Till I said that camera, I had never thought about that camera.
Whatever happened to
I don't
that?
know what happened to that. Probably they don't want to talk about it because they have abysmal sales.
Damn.
Okay, anyways, we are digressing.
Yes,
but the point is, Google is like, we are gonna ensure that you know when you're talking to a robot.
I guess that kind of a good thing, but then it should have happened a lot sooner.
Probably.
It should have happened during the demo itself.
Yeah. But yeah, so now it's just a reaction.
All right. So there
Moving
we go.
on to the next news, which is also Google news. Google plans to make tech less addictive by telling you more about how you use apps, by helping you set reminders about, app usage, alerts, and also about how they bundle notifications now with YouTube, which sucks for YouTube creators, honestly. This guy. But
if the notifications ever get delivered.
Fair. But yeah, so Google is trying to commoditize apps.
Isn't this very against the nature of Google products?
Yes, but now Google is not really into apps, it's into Google Assistant.
Yes.
Which is what they want to push.
Yeah.
And they have a monopoly there right now.
Yes.
Like, yes, Alexa is there, but Alexa is not really there on your handset.
Yeah. And Bixby is just...
Yeah, let's not even talk about it. Right? So they're going against Siri, and Siri is kind of it's not impressive with what the stuff is, what Alexa and Google.
Yeah, especially
in
Alexa.
The same breath. Yeah. So especially Alexa, Siri is not that impressive, so nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
So Assistant is the hot thing, and then Google is gonna be like, yeah, let's just hurt all the other apps.
And that's quite a shame, considering that Apple started off with, the first year of your recurring auto-renewable subscription revenue is going to be 70%. But the second year onwards, for the same person, it's going to be 85%.
So if you remain popular, it's good for you.
Yeah, or if you have really hardcore users who want to stick to your app.
Right, so that means that you're working on stability and features that people really want
and really use.
Okay,
so Apple is doing that. Microsoft in their event announced that they're increasing developer revenue up to 95% for non-game apps.
Yeah.
And then you have Google going the exact, I wanted to say opposite way, but now I'm going to say it the Twitter way, by just screwing their developers. Third-party developers.
I mean, it sucks to be a popular Android app right now.
Yeah, absolutely. A few that come to my mind are Phoenix. Then there's this very popular camera control app. and
Yeah, okay.
yeah, those are the only two ones I can think of right now. But
But
I'm
the
sure
camera
there are
control
many.
app will probably not be impacted because it's not used that often.
Sorry, which one?
The camera control app is probably not used that often.
No, for like it's a paid app, and for the ones who really need it,
Okay.
they probably use it like at least 4 or 5 times a week.
But yeah, so Google planning to make things less addictive.
But I don't think this one ties into addiction. This particular app, the camera control
Yeah.
one, because it's more of
It's
a
more of a utility app.
utility app for work.
Yeah.
Something like Phoenix, which is a Twitter client.
Yeah.
Now that ties into addiction,
Yep.
and I can see that being curtailed.
Man, I don't know. Google is. I don't know what goes on in their head.
It don't make sense, Google. It don't make sense.
But yeah, I think it's because they want people to work more on how to integrate things into Assistant.
Yeah.
Because then that.
It becomes like the primary interface.
Yes, plus that's. So, for example, if I start integrating my app more into Assistant, that's good because that builds into Google's platform.
Right.
So tomorrow the same guy buys a hardware device, which is not a phone. He's already going to have all of his integrations in that, which is a big part missing from Alexa.
Yeah.
Because if you install the Alexa app, then you have to like configure all of that stuff in it. Right? And then it's like a process. But in this case, it becomes seamless. Because Google is making you do it's going to make app developers work for it and then be like, we are going to sell more devices.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense where it's more automated for the end user.
Exactly. But it's more like we are going to run this show now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you better fall in line. That kind of a thing.
Okay, but then again, I can draw a parallel between Google doing this, where Apple has been doing this since the App Store launched.
Okay.
Where they have a tight control over what developers do and how they do it. But they do not, put a boundary on creativity. What they only put boundaries on privacy related matters.
Yeah, but given that Android is an open source project, unless Google keeps all of the interesting stuff as part of Google Play services, which is not open source, it's going to be really difficult.
Yes.
Because it's an API at the end of the day, and if it's part of the Android open source project, you're going to have access to it one way or the other.
Yeah.
So then Google will probably look at focusing a lot more on adding fancier tech to the Google Play services. Which is not available
as an open source thing.
Open source.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Moving on to the next two, YouTube Red is dead. I've been wanting to say that for the whole of last week, I think, or at least half of it. But yeah, YouTube Red is dead. So there was an official announcement. I think I read the Recode one.
Okay.
And essentially it's being relaunched as YouTube Premium. Which is expensive. Slightly more expensive. I think 25% or something like that. And it's just like, give up already.
So YouTube Premium was $12. YouTube Music Premium is $10.
Yeah, the split pricing sucks.
Wait. Hold on. So now you have YouTube Music Premium.
Yeah.
You have Google Play Music.
Yeah.
You have paid Google Play Music.
Yeah.
You have
YouTube Premium.
Just plain YouTube Music.
Yeah, without...
with ads and everything.
Yeah.
So now you have 4 Google products competing for the same thing.
That's how we roll, man. They have like 8 different messaging apps.
Yeah, but then we discussed that. That's just
exactly. So
pointless.
It's like nobody in Google talks to each other.
Yeah.
There's a team working on the same thing.
Yeah.
And there's another team that's also working on the same thing. And that's just... I don't know if... Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of the there's this line in the movie. Oh shit, I'm forgetting the movie's name as well.
Oh,
Metropolis.
Okay.
Metropolis. The movie's name is Metropolis. If you guys haven't seen that, do check it out. It's a very old movie, black and white, no dialogues, like dialogues you can hear. There's a very interesting line. It says the hands are not talking. The hands don't know what the brain is doing, and the brain doesn't know what the hands are doing. So we need a heart in the middle that can communicate between the two.
Okay.
The context there is different
Yeah.
in the movie,
Yeah.
but it's kind of a similar situation here with Google. YouTube doesn't know what the Play Music team is doing. The Play Music team doesn't know what YouTube is doing, and the heart, which is Google,
Right.
or even, okay, not technically Alphabet, still Google, is not communicating between the two, or even helping communicate between the two.
Like, do people at Google even read the comments?
Sorry, what?
Yeah. What is Chinmay? Oh, H1B.
Tosar ka.
Political topic, Tosar. No.
Ekdam.
Don't drag us into that because
Yes.
that is a black hole, bro.
Yes.
Udhar gaya to gaya. But like, have you looked at the comments on the YouTube music announcement post?
Not yet.
People are upset.
Of course, what do you expect? Okay, so here's the top voted comment. Really not convinced by this. It sounds really messy. I subscribe to Play Music for its clean simplicity. I don't want videos in the mix. And wait, I just expanded the comment and I just lost
it's
where I
Google
am.
Plus for you, but forget it.
And I don't want remixes by random users. YouTube has a lot of music, but it's also got a lot of user-generated content and hundreds of versions of the same track. Sounds like I'll now be waiting for community rubbish just to play music. I'll try it, but if Play Music goes away, I suspect I'll be looking for an alternative elsewhere. Mr. Andrew Leakey, welcome to the Apple Music Club.
Even the second topmost comment is like that. I really fail to understand what Google is doing here, right? The third is probably better. No, it's not even that. So the third most popular is...
What? I don't get this comment.
Yeah, no, that's just bullshit. The third most popular is, I'm a Google Play Music subscriber. Why do I have the sinking feeling that I'm about to get screwed out of the included YouTube Red content and features?
It's a legitimate concern of the paying user of Google.
Everyone is like that. The next comment is, this is so unclear. As someone who signed up for Google Play Music at an early sign-up discount of $7.99, this guy's legit confused, like what's going to happen.
Everyone is. I am confused as to why they have 4 services that do the same thing. Like each service is free and paid plan, total 4 services.
You know what? They should just buy out Spotify and shut the fuck up. Look, there can be only 2 or 3 big players here. Honestly, Spotify is the only one that you can potentially buy here.
But here's the thing, Spotify isn't for sale.
It's public right now. Is it public?
Yeah.
It's public.
Yeah.
Just do what you do with those New York guys and just get that.
The Wall Street guys.
Yeah, the Wall Street guys. Because honestly, this is just stupid at this point.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's not like Google is going to step out of this game, right? They can't afford to step out of
No,
this
they
game.
can't. They can't. And not at this point,
right.
Especially when they have so many paying users on both sides of the fence.
Yeah, but okay, so Chinmay is saying that isn't Google known to try stuff with consumer, Google Glasses, Google Cube thing to connect to TVs and all. Yeah, but this is so much different, right? Apple and Spotify are making billions and these guys are experimenting when they have so many views on music videos. Like, take a look at the top 10 YouTube videos.
Just right now, before the stream, one of my friend shared the new music video from this South Korean pop band called BTS.
Okay.
And Fake Love. It's called Fake Love. The thing got 1 million views in 36 minutes. Fastest.
Exactly. So they have a killer
views.
thing.
Yeah.
And they can't figure their way around it. And
you know the simplest way to solve a few of these problems. Okay. As you already know, YouTube, only the audio track is always available. Okay. So whenever you upload a video, the video's audio track is separately available. Okay.
Oh yeah.
You can
Yeah,
mark.
yeah, yeah.
You can mark videos as official videos. Let an artist say, okay, this is the official song from the source.
Right.
Let Google verify it
Right.
and distribute it in both streams. But then again, it comes down to the same thing. The head needs to talk with the hand, which
Man.
they are really struggling to do.
Just get your stuff in line, man. It's embarrassing. And people are legit confused.
Of course, I mean, there is a very good reason to be confused here.
Moving on to the next
Yes.
Google news, which is more disappointment in life. The Nest app.
I have no idea what this is all about.
Okay, so the Nest app just shut down for an hour. So Nest is a subsidiary of Google. They bought it for like a few $1 billion.
Yeah, but what, like...
So they started off with thermostats. They make smart home accessories.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I could go on and talk about Nest for a while.
Yeah, but like, what happened in this
Nest,
situation?
in this situation, their app just stopped.
Okay.
And people were not able to arm or disarm their locks or stuff. So they are
Okay,
like
guys, so I've
physical control of the lock is still there, but we are down for an hour and we are figuring shit out.
Okay, so here's a question.
First of all,
from-
IoT is hard. Let's just
IoT
get
is
that
very
out
hard.
of the way. But Nest is not like Nest is short of resources.
Or like they're a small company.
Yeah, or like this is. Yeah, and
I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing. It is just...
yeah, it is just a horrific Black Mirror thing. That's
Yeah, like, you know, oops,
Oops,
our
we just locked
service
out.
just went down.
Oopsie.
You're locked out or you're locked in, whichever the case is. Or, you know, I understand it's freezing outside, but the thermostat is going to be offline. So you just brace and just, you know, grab a few blankets or whatever.
so.
But I'm pretty sure because the service is down, you won't even get that push notification.
Hey Ben, so we are talking about Nest right now. So Nest had an outage. Nest is a company
Yep.
that Google owns, which has smart locks and stuff. And their smart locks.
Happened to Google Wi-Fi once? Rebooted and reset all routers? What?
I don't know this. I
What?
missed it probably.
Do you have a source for this? This is
Please,
incredible.
yeah.
By the way, hi Ben.
So yeah, we were talking about Nest and how they had an outage, and the connectivity or connected features of Nest stopped working. But there was a number pad, and you could still punch in the keys.
Yeah. Okay, but what about the thermostat, which has
No, the thermostat wasn't affected. The lock was.
the lock was?
I would be okay if the thermostat. No, I wouldn't be okay if the thermostat went out for an hour.
Especially not in the Western countries.
Yeah.
Because that is how the ventilation in those houses is primarily set up.
I mean,
you know-
looking at the summer here, I would be uncomfortable if the AC went out for an hour.
Yeah, but no, you also have to understand that our houses where the air conditioners, like the non-modern houses, most of the air conditioners are, pretty new compared to the building itself,
Right.
right? So
Yeah,
the
okay.
houses were planned around natural ventilation. Not necessarily the case in some or most of the Western countries.
Right.
So, yeah, if the thermostat went out there, even for an hour, it would become suffocating. Because even though the thermostat is maintaining a temperature at 24 and, well, technically 65 in Fahrenheit, if I'm not wrong. So if it's maintaining a temperature at 65 and it's 65 outside, what's going to happen is just the fans are going to spin.
Okay, we are going on a tangent here.
No, it's still linked here.
Yeah.
Because if that is the case, okay, and the thermostat is just spinning the fans,
Right.
you're fine. But if it's snowing outside or it's very hot outside and your temperature is set to 65 Fahrenheit,
Right.
then the situation gets fucked up.
Fair. So yeah, we can't really have outages with smart home devices, so they have to be designed in such a way that when they're offline it works, and we have to give credit for that, that their number pad still
Works.
But yeah, I mean, it was an interesting thing because it caused a lot of people to talk about, the implications of what would have
Happens
happened.
when shit goes down.
So moving on, so that's I think the last year Google News.
Google News.
So moving on to the
next topic, which is an Intel topic after a long time. Intel just released their paper for the Z390 chipset, which is why I asked you to hold on the purchases, which is kind of an upgrade to the Z370 platform, which launched with Intel's Coffee Lake chips. And as it turns out from the details of the whole situation, Z390 is the actual chipset that should have been released with Coffee Lake.
So why did they rush? Was it because of AMD?
Because of AMD.
Yeah, okay.
So if you remember in Jan, when CES happened.
Right.
Sorry, not CES. What am I talking about?
But CES happens in Jan.
CES happens in Jan?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was CES. So when that happened, and AMD was like, okay, the Ryzen 2s are going to be coming out and stuff like that. And then Intel just rushed, and the same thing happened. The same thing that happened with KB Lake. So KB Lake was rushed. KB Lake X, Skylake X was rushed, and now we have Z390. And one of the bigger advantages of Z390 is more native USB 3.1. Yeah, exactly. So I thought that would be very critical for you.
Yeah.
It has better performance from the chipset for Intel Optane.
How many USB 3s are there?
So USB 3 Gen 2 is the main
up to 10 times USB 3.1 Gen 1 ports and up to 6 USB 3.1 Gen 2 ports.
Yeah, so another interesting thing here is that, okay, so have a look at, so you'll get this diagram.
Yeah.
Up to 6 USB 3.1 Gen 2 ports. So up to 6. But say a motherboard manufacturer saturates all 6 of them, okay, you're going to have to lose out on one of the M.2 ports. Which, for me, please, by all means, take one away, give me more USB 3.1.
Should work.
Because you have 14 USB 2 ports.
Yeah.
14. And by the way, this is not the Extreme series motherboards. This is not like X299.
Right.
This is the consumer level, not the prosumer level. This is still the consumer level chipset, and I'm at a loss for words at why Intel would, go and release the Z370 chipset, where they could have released this chipset as the Z370. So for anyone who bought the Z370 motherboards, you'll be fucked right now.
Yeah, you'd be upset.
Yeah, so good thing I messaged you. You stop all the buying.
Right.
Don't buy shit.
Moving on.
And related news, which we don't have a link for, GTX 1170, 1180, prices, performance, and everything else has leaked ahead of GTC.
I should start being nice to all my NVIDIA friends.
Yeah, so basically at this point, GTC is a redundant event for NVIDIA this year.
Yeah. How sure is the...
Yeah, this is rock solid information.
Okay.
So at this point, they should just, their CEO should come on stage, announce whatever enterprise stuff that has not leaked yet.
Should be his 2 words, and then he walks off.
Oh yeah, that is actually a very good plan.
It's true.
Yeah, new PR guy for you, NVIDIA, right here. By the way, cool...
I don't think they can afford my retainer, but sure.
Oh snap!
But some cool...
Oh snap! Alright, so some cool NVIDIA folks are in town this week. Are you in town this week?
Yeah, should be. Not on the weekend.
Alright, let's see what we can manage and hook up for you. By the way, the package has reached at the courier facility in Bhiwandi.
So it should be here.
I just got a notification there and here.
So it should be here tomorrow.
And here.
So it should be here tomorrow morning instead of...
Tomorrow morning, yeah. So it'll go overnight and come to Pune, and it should be in my hands by afternoon.
I don't think people know what we're talking
about.
But
they have no idea.
Soon, so subscribe.
Yeah, so subscribe if you haven't.
Fancy gear coming.
Yes. Alright, so since we are down 6 topics, I just want to quickly talk about all the stuff that's the reviews that are going to be coming on to Objective Reviews. But before you show that, I wanted to talk to them about the schedule that we discussed for the live stream.
We did that last time.
No, we didn't tell them the schedule. We said we will tell them the schedule, and now that it's a more concrete idea in our heads as well.
Okay, so it's going to be like 2 breaks.
2 seasons a year. This is the first season of this year, which will end on the last Friday of WWDC that is happening soon in June. So yeah, you won't be having these live streams for much longer. June is the last month for the first season. The second season will start later, around January.
Yes.
Yes. So it'll start around January, which is Computex. Yes. Which is Computex.
It'll start around November.
What's in November?
For all the...
Oh no, November is just that one special live stream. To talk about all the phone releases of the year.
My bad.
Yeah. So there'll be one... So I was going to come that to... You just ruined the surprise.
Whoops.
Alright, but it's okay. So there'll be one special live stream in October or November for all the phones that have launched this year, and we just discuss phones in that special live stream. And then see the second season of the year will start in January. So technically this is the no, wait, we're missing something.
I think we should do this again next week.
Yeah, okay. You know what? This is a bit confusing even for us. A week later.
We should write it down.
Yeah, we should. I will write it down next time in my notes, and I will give you the exact dates for this year.
So lame.
Because we completely skipped a season somehow.
It's weird.
Yeah, we completely skipped a season.
It's like we don't know months.
Yeah. So it's like January, February, April. Wait, are we forgetting one? Yeah. Alright, so, oh yeah, now I know. Now I remember the exact thing. No, are we not doing that? Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, alright. So let's talk about the stuff that we are reviewing in the coming few weeks.
Yes.
You want to go off with the first one? Yay! Okay, wait. Pull it back. Here. This is where the focus is. Yeah. Do you realize how tiny that is?
It's like a Game Boy.
It's
like a Game Boy emulator. So this is my car key.
Yeah.
And this is that thing.
Yeah, but don't play.
And my car key is bigger than that.
Yeah, boy.
It's crazy. It's called Pocket Sprite.
Yeah, it's all open source.
Oh yeah.
The hardware, the
software, everything. Is
okay, yeah. So everything is open source. We've got both the assembled and the make-it-yourself kits in the house. All because of our Patreon. Yeah.
It is so pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty.
So it's almost like this. What is
perfume?
It? Perfume. Yes,
it's
a perfume box. But
it opens.
I can totally prank someone.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So Pocket Sprite, and you have the tiny foam holder in there for the thing itself.
Okay, let's
okay, yeah. Let's not do the unboxing here live. Let's not do that.
Good. This is dope.
Yeah, that is dope.
Full disclosure, it's made by someone who works at the same company that I do, and it has the same chip that the company that I work for
Disclaimer.
Makes. Disclaimer. But it's amazing, and I love it, and it's crazy good.
But I think it shouldn't have been a disclaimer, or it should. I don't know.
No, it's a full disclosure.
A full disclosure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what that was. Alright, the second thing. Now this I
haven't seen this.
Yeah, so even he hasn't seen this, and it's a pretty fascinating little doodad. It's basically a light. These are SMD bulbs, and this is basically a CTO gel. Let me remove that. So,
what?
Yeah. Okay, so those are SMD bulbs. Okay, this is made by Aperture, a very popular photography light brand, and I'm going to turn it on. This is the Amaran ALM9, and I'm just going to dim it down completely first so I can show you how bright it goes. Okay, this tiny thing, look at it. Look at how cute it is.
Man, the thing that they do with LEDs is
okay.
crazy.
Now look at this. This is low.
Okay.
Low power. This can go up to 9 hours on the lowest power.
Well,
Now look at this.
whoa.
I'm literally lighting your face with this. Whoa, this looks cool.
I'm gonna have to look at the stream. But this is dope.
Okay, so there is a CTB and a CTO filter included. So I'm just putting the CTO filter.
The magnets are amazing.
Amazing. It's just like okay. So those like these guys haven't seen this, so it's like this like.
What?
I can get like orange light. Okay, so here's what's cool about this one thing. Okay, what's this? So you look in the camera. You can watch this. Nice highlight for this boy. Yeah, beautiful. See, it can make even him look gorgeous.
That's the most amazing compliment that I have received all week.
Really? He's not happy about that.
Because
it sounds like he gave you a few compliments and you did not pay heed to it. Okay. All
Moving on.
So that's what's coming, and a little something that came in a black and orange box. I don't know if these guys can see that box. No, they can't. Okay. Alright, so it's a black and orange box. Take your guesses and we'll see. If you're right, I'll work on the review twice as fast. But I don't think that'll happen because it just came in today afternoon, and I still need to spend at least a week to give you my honest experience with it.
Fair. Or maybe you could just split it into 2 videos.
First impressions and review?
Yeah, so like the tech specs and first impressions, and then the...
Okay, so like, if you guys, like, I can literally give the first impressions right now.
No.
And it's literally 2 seconds.
This is the objective stream.
No, but it's literally 2 seconds.
Okay.
That's
not very technical. Let's or very objective.
Yeah.
Moving on.
The objective first experience. Yes. Okay, that's a good idea. So a first impressions.
Yeah.
And then, a full review. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So moving on to the next topic. AMD's CPUs are not susceptible to the Spectre and what is the other one called?
Spectre NG. And
Spectre NG is Spectre Next Generation.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? The same Spectre and what? I even have a freaking video on this.
What?
Yeah.
Meltdown, right?
Meltdown. Yeah. So Spectre Next Generation does not affect the Ryzen CPUs, and good for AMD because their performance won't degrade anymore. Especially Threadripper, which was really hit by the first ones.
Right.
So this is a good thing, but for all the Intel users out there, shit. So I think the first patch kind of degraded performance by not much, like around 4% for me.
Okay.
But mine's a 5820.
Okay.
Have you run any synthetic benchmarks on yours?
No, I should have. No.
You should have. So what I did was, when I was working on that video, I realized that after I upgrade, I won't be able to take benchmarks. So I recorded a few benchmarks before the test, before the update and after the update.
Okay.
And then I compared the scores. So multi-core wasn't hit as much as single core was. GPU performance was within 1% of error.
Okay.
So I would say it wasn't really impacted heavily. But single core performance, 4% drop on a 5820. So I can imagine what happened to everyone else.
Fair.
Like really screwed up. Alright, so if you have AMD CPUs, the Ryzen ones or Threadripper, but if you don't,
the next topic is a little weird.
Alright.
This is a blog post essentially.
Okay.
And what it says is that compared to Moore's law, for example, which talks about capacity of chips doubling in 18 months and stuff.
Yep.
the price for compute in the cloud, essentially, has doubled every 3.5 months. So if I can do X petaflops at Y dollars this month, by the end of May, June, July, August, September, by the end of September, I can do 2X petaflops at Y dollars.
Which is crazy. So Moore's law literally isn't being properly applied here.
Yeah, so it's, it's crazy. And this has such implications with AI. Because assuming AI is all about compute and creating models and stuff.
Right.
It's going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
Yep.
And cheaper.
So it is going to approach zero but never reach it.
It's
kind of one of those situations.
Interestingly, we'll figure out way more complex things to do with that.
Yeah, or the other way it could go is that it could reach zero and go into the negatives, which happened to some countries' power grid, where they had so much power that they had to sell it by paying the other country money.
Yeah, just please use our power.
Yeah. So which is weird. So something like that can happen here.
Or someone.
Yeah, one of the Nordic countries.
No. One of the Nordic countries, and I think Sweden.
Sweden was on the buying end of the power.
No. I'm giving another example where Sweden actually imports trash.
Yes.
Because they are so good at recycling.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? So let's come back to the AI topic here. And as last week was evidence enough, we are getting scarily towards a situation where this thing could just keep on expanding. And a very interesting blog post I came across today, which said that Stuxnet, which took down the whole Iranian nuclear
we
power
should
plants.
do like a separate video for Stuxnet,
because Stuxnet was
crazy.
one of the most brilliant attacks that was ever done. It was sophisticated, it was powerful, it was delivered geniusly, and I don't think the perpetrators have been caught.
It was so targeted.
Yeah, and I don't think these people have been caught yet, right? I don't think they will ever be, because if I understand what I read correctly, or rather if I comprehended it right, they did not leave behind any blueprints in the malware itself. Blueprints as to who engineered it.
Yeah.
Or any DNA information or any information that could identify them. So it is quite genius. And with AI becoming cheaper and faster every 4 months, the sophistication of such attacks can be automated.
Yeah, it'll just grow and grow and grow.
Yep.
Moving on to the next topic, which is Microsoft.
Yeah, you want to take this one?
Microsoft launched Surface Hub 2, which is essentially a large screen. So this reminds me of Google Jamboard.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that also?
I don't know what happened to Google Jamboard, but Surface Hub 2 is like a huge TV.
Yep.
And it's got a lot. So it's an enterprise thing, right? I don't see anyone putting that in their house. Maybe I don't know why. I don't know why they would do that. But this is something that you would put in your conference room. This is also something that you could potentially put in your lobby.
In your lobby, yes, to show company metrics or whatever.
And I think the daisy chain, they have a very nice swivel for changing between landscape and portrait mode.
Yep.
It's got a fancy stand. It is extremely expensive.
Is this Facebook for work in the screenshot?
Looks like.
It looks like Facebook for work, right?
No. It should be LinkedIn. They own LinkedIn.
But this is not LinkedIn. LinkedIn never looks this good.
No, it's a Google. It's a doc.
No, the third one is a doc.
Then that is probably comments.
Yeah, but comments of what?
I don't know. On the doc.
But man, all these people are so well dressed, like so beautifully dressed. I'm jealous of them.
But
That's my takeaway from this entire article.
no, but this is nice,
Yeah, this is like,
fun stuff.
I would put one in my office.
No money, and I don't have an office, so I'm good. Thanks.
More companies, more problems.
No, but okay.
Okay, so, but here's the thing that we want to talk about this.
Okay, on that web page where they have announced this, the Surface Hub page,
Yeah.
at the bottom
Yeah.
they
Okay.
have their entire line of Surface computers,
Yes.
and the pictures are out of scale. Look at the Surface Studio.
Yeah.
It's the same size as the Surface laptop.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you do that?
Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay.
This is design 101. This is so stupid.
That is an excellent catch.
This
friend.
is so bad.
Yeah. So,
I'm looking at it and I couldn't make sense of it for a minute because my eyes darted to the Surface Studio.
yeah.
And I know that it's this big
That
piece
is
of
huge. That is
right?
27 inches.
And next to that is the Surface Pro, which is
15
the
inches.
same size as this Pro
Yes.
laptop, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, I can't figure out. Like my head went blank for a minute, and I'm like, what? And for a minute, I legit thought there's a smaller Surface Studio.
Like a mini one.
Yeah. And I'm like, no. And then I realized that this is just shitty design, and they're not even at the same height. Can you see this here?
Yeah. They're all like up and down and they're back
What?
and forward. Like even like, okay, so here's what's happening. 1, 2, well, like 1, 3 and 5 are in the, okay, 1 and 3 are in the same plane.
Yeah, I realized. Yeah.
2, 2, 4 and 5
HTML,
are like
CSS is
all in their
not
own
that hard.
Yeah. No, it is kind of hard. It is kind of hard.
No, this is
No, but this is like, this should be easy.
this is amateur. This
This is
doing
amateur
this.
work. Yes, I agree. I agree.
So a little hate for Microsoft, but now we have a lot of love coming for Microsoft because
Absolutely.
they launched the accessibility Xbox controller.
So it's actually called the adaptive controller.
Adaptive controller. Okay.
Okay. By the way, yesterday was World Accessibility Awareness Day.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So Apple had changed their entire homepage. Is it still up though? Is that webpage still up?
Not sure.
Okay, no. So it's no longer up, but that particular page is there. So I'm just going to post the link to it. Apple, among the top 4 computer juggernauts, which is Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon.
Okay.
Apple is the one which is at the forefront at the whole accessibility thing, and they really focus on it like throughout all of their products. So be it the watch, the phone, the iPad, Mac OS, iMacs, MacBooks, whatever it is, except for the damn keyboard, they focus on accessibility a lot. So not surprising that something so gorgeous, so electric came from Microsoft. But coming back to the topic of Microsoft, did I say Microsoft that time?
No.
I wanted to say Apple.
Okay.
Sorry if I said Microsoft. But Microsoft yesterday announced the adaptive Xbox controller, which allows people with certain disabilities to use the Xbox more conveniently. And this is great. So just have a look at the webpage. There are a ton of examples in there, and even the product photos. They really communicate how people with certain disabilities can use the Xbox, and just making the Xbox available to more people, to because everyone deserves to have fun.
And I think this is the first effort of its kind.
Yeah,
And the price, it's $100.
yeah. So
It's affordable AF.
that's
For something that's so unique, I think they could have charged a bomb, but they
Yeah.
didn't. And
Yeah.
that's nice. And
yes, that's nice.
we
Yeah.
should give them
I agree on
because there
Okay.
is no other.
No,
option.
and your
Like-
point about affordability is true, because if a person can afford the Xbox,
Yes.
they will definitely happily pay $100 to get this if it just makes their experience using it
Exactly.
better. and simpler for them.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely agree with you.
And the news .microsoft post about this is beautifully written. It's a little long, but take some time, read it.
Yeah.
I think you've posted the link, right?
Yeah.
And kudos to everyone
who worked on this. Absolutely. And thank you for actually bringing this into production.
And that's a good thing. When a big company does something like this, there are smaller companies who are going to look up at that, see that it had such a nice reaction.
Yes.
It became so popular, and we are going to have more accessibility products, which can only mean good things.
Unless they are a big giant Indian company where they will just give excuses that we don't have enough budget for it. Yeah, you know who you are.
So, yeah.
But I don't want to end it on that sour note. I want to end it on a very happy, positive note. And there's this one quote in here. I'm just trying to find that. Yeah, there we go. So with that controller, they are having fun, he said, watching the patients play. I see how it's making my sister happy, and I like that. So it's not only people with disabilities and accessibility.
People who are
no, but it's also people who are around them.
Right.
His sister who takes care of these patients, seeing them be happy in that moment is making her happy. It's not only affecting those people, but it's also affecting people without any disabilities indirectly.
It's nice.
Accessibility is a win for everyone, so please do focus on it.
From that amazing topic, we are gonna go down the rabbit hole
into our today's section of Black Mirror.
In today's section of Black Mirror, US cell carriers are selling access to your real-time phone location data.
Whoops! Who's surprised? Raise your hands.
No, but it was like, I thought for a second where I was like, aren't there laws preventing them from doing this? And then
who cares? At their size and influence, who cares?
No one.
Exactly. So it's really not baffling. It's really not a surprising thing that this is happening. I won't be surprised if such a news comes out from other countries as well, except for some European ones. A few European ones, not all. A few.
GDPR. Boom.
No, but again, GDPR does not cover telecom.
Yeah, I know this doesn't cover telecom, but
but I know for a fact that Finland has very strong laws around this. I know for a fact, I believe it's either Germany or Austria who have very strong laws around this.
Okay.
I'm not sure of any of the other countries. Asia, Southeast Asia. I'm definitely guessing this is happening a lot in India. They may not be selling it to people private players. They could even be selling it to the governments. Or well, I really don't want to say this on a live stream, but you get the point who I'm referring to. So, yeah.
Live data, live location data, easily available. Contact us for pricing.
For $8.
Moving on to the next thing, which is a small topic where IBM says that they will have no removable storage on their premises.
Yeah, there should be a thing every company. I doubt Idea, Vodafone, Airtel can do this. They are so poor at providing services. They can locate devices precisely.
Very valid point. So it's not about
this is a very apt point.
It's about ability.
yeah. Okay. So point taken, Chinmay. Point taken.
But yeah, IBM is like, we are gonna be very cautious about everything.
No, I think this should be the policy in every company,
guys,
everywhere on the planet.
If you see a USB drive that you don't recognize, don't plug it in.
Don't plug it in, because it just might. It may not necessarily have to be a storage device. It can be one of those USB dongles that if you put it in one of the USB port, it just fries the whole thing up.
Yeah, so what they have is like capacitors which charge up
and then just release all the current back into the electrical circuit on your computer, and it just fries everything up. So again, just ban all USB thumb drives, pen drives from
kill the pen
workspaces.
drive.
No, don't kill it. It's still a very core part, especially in photography studios.
Just use something like AirDrop.
Not everyone's a rich mofo like you.
Use that share it thing. There's this app, share it. Works over.
Oh yeah, but that never works. Oh, I've got an idea for you. Hire me and I'll build you a NAS.
Fair.
That's a better idea.
Yeah.
Alright.
Speaking of data, a reporter asked Apple
Yeah, this is funny.
all of its data,
Yeah,
and
it's
some of the
slightly-
responses are so nice, right? You should really read that because Apple is killing it.
Okay. So
And I want to read one response.
a quick idea, to give them a quick idea of what happened. One person goes ahead and asks Apple to give him all the data they have on him, and Apple's like, okay. So he kind of criticizes Apple on how hard it is to access information, on how to get this information, if that sentence made sense to you. And then once he finally figured it out, he wrote an email, and then I think a week or two later, Apple sent him an email with an attachment which had all his data, and it was roughly around 16 to 18 megabytes. Yeah, where in contrast his Facebook data was something like 500 to 800 megabytes, and his Google data was somewhere around half of that, and Apple's data was only 16.7 megabytes. Excuse me. So pretty fascinating, and you're going to read out.
And of the data it collects to power Siri, Maps, and News, it does so anonymously. Apple can't attribute that data to the device owner.
There we go. The knight in shining armor.
Siri is Alexa.
Yeah.
Maps is Google.
Yes.
And News is Facebook.
Yep.
So it's
Facebook
like,
or Twitter.
And it does so anonymously.
Yeah. So it's like a hit on all three.
Yep.
All three. So the only one left here is Amazon. And well, unfortunately, the Apple Store will have to collect your address because they need to know where to send your stuff.
No, Amazon is there too because Siri.
Oh yeah.
Alexa.
All right. So Amazon's there too.
This is beautiful.
I wouldn't expect anything less from them.
Guys, take a leaf out of their book, man.
Yeah. And before we go to the next topic, I want to quickly interject here and also mention that Apple won an award. The the head of environmental sciences won an award for Apple's efforts to protect the environment and everything.
I have a very close source right now in terms of distance who told me that Apple does very good work when it comes to stuff like mining.
Yes.
And being responsible for the minerals that they get.
Yeah.
And they're trying harder and harder to be better at it.
Oh, there was a joke on Twitter recently with the decline of 32-bit hardware from Mac OS.
Okay.
It was no surprise that Carbon is going away. The link was to an article where it talks about Apple improving their aluminium process line,
right,
to remove carbon emissions completely. It had nothing to do with macOS, but that was a good joke.
So guys, be like Apple if you can.
Yep. Alright, so the last topic for day.
This is something that I would love to talk about.
Yes, please take it off.
Length, but I'm gonna try and keep it as short as possible. A Reddit user.
Go on. You talk.
A Reddit user took the new Reddit user interface,
the redesign,
and analyzed how much power it was consuming as opposed to the old Reddit design. and he found that it was way more.
Yep.
And he kind of calculated how many persons that could be for a given population.
Okay, interesting.
Right?
Yep.
And this just blew my mind, right? We never think about energy in terms of money when we are browsing a website.
Okay.
So when you're browsing a website, you are consuming electricity.
Okay, so a quick thing here before you move on. I want to mention that this is only calculating electricity or power consumed on the device itself.
Yes, let's not even go on the server
Go
side.
on the server side
Because
or
that
the
is-
network transmission
Yeah.
and everything. This is only on the device.
Only on the device
Yeah,
side,
so-
and it's still a big...
Go on. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. Sorry about that. Sorry about your ears.
So, this is where the Reddit user is like, he took a laptop, he opened the web page, and he wrote a script to simulate web browsing, where he just every 2 seconds he was scrolling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he saw how much his battery lasted and stuff, and he did that with the old design too. And I think this should be a service.
Yes, this should. I would happily
build
play.
this.
I would happily pay for this.
Every design iteration you make,
Yeah, it calculates the
calculating
energy
the
requirements.
Energy requirements. of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I would pay for it.
yeah.
I'm actually thinking.
No,
of
but
how
but
we
then
should make
you
this.
also have to understand something, that I think the new Reddit thing is built on either Vue, React, or Angular, one of these three.
Okay.
And I've never ever liked any of those libraries, simply because it's by all the novice, and I'm by no means saying that the people who worked on the Reddit design are novices,
Yeah.
but actual novices, use it like a hammer.
Yeah.
They probably need just
Everything is
one
unable.
component from the entire library, instead of figuring out how it works,
But
because
that's
the
how
code is
that's how
open source.
technology usually works. When you democratize it, there were a lot many
Yeah.
novices getting
Yeah,
on board.
yeah, and it's a really terrible situation right now. And when such a thing happens, when these libraries become really popular for reasons which still evade me, you're going to end up getting this, because there are a lot of performance optimization tips and tricks and articles on the whole topic. Very few talk about power consumption. If I remember correctly, Xcode, since Xcode 8 for iOS and Mac apps, has a separate section in the debugger column to show you how much power the app is consuming. If it's low, if it's idle, low, medium, high, very high.
Right.
And the moment your app is in high,
Right.
you need to sit down and look at why is it consuming so much power.
And I think it's about time that we stopped looking at it as purely from a battery
Yes.
and uptime
Yeah.
point of view,
More
and start
from
looking at from an environment point
Environmental
of
perspective.
view, because
Yes.
this is a lot. Because the more we go forward,
Yeah.
web consumption is going to be higher and higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, and the weird thing is that I see people with MacBooks or Macs in general, and they insist on using Chrome.
Use Safari,
Just use Safari.
Please, yeah, don't even
See,
think about it.
use Safari on macOS,
Use the
use
ones that your native guy
Edge
provides.
on Windows,
Yeah.
and use Chrome on Chromebooks if you have one. And I'm sorry you bought it.
But now it runs Linux apps.
I'm sorry you bought it.
But yeah, so one of the the calculations that this guy has done is,
Oh yeah, that is an interesting one.
so he's done this calculation for 30 days, and he's like assuming this site is being used by 8 billion people, which it's not being used by.
Yeah.
Because Reddit is not that popular and not.
And there are no 8 billion people on the planet.
I think there are 8 billion. It's just that not everyone.
I think
has.
it's 7.1 billion, the population right now.
Whatever. So one of the numbers that he found was the redesign will use as much extra power as 153,000 European citizens every month.
That's a lot of people
So
consuming
he's
a lot
like,
of power.
we went from the equivalent of 247,000 citizens to the equivalent of 400,000 citizens.
It's not wasted. Okay, so I think his closing line is a great one. It's not wasted power. I can imagine many people will like the redesign better than the
come
old.
on.
But is it worth it?
Yes.
Could this be used to programmed to have better performance?
Exactly.
With great power comes great responsibility. Please mind the performance. That's all I'm trying to say. I mean, that's what he said. Yes, excellent point. Excellent thread.
When I read this thread, my mind was blown because I had never thought about websites as being harmful to the environment.
Oh yeah, of course. Absolutely. Do you know how horrible the YouTube website is for your battery? Even if you run it in Safari. Safari will realize that and it'll close that.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say the same thing about Prime videos.
Yes.
Because, if I happen to have a Prime video thing running, and I pause it or something and go do something else,
you get the top grey bar.
Yes, I get that. And Safari is like, we stopped this website because it was consuming too much energy.
Yeah. So
be like Safari, guys.
Yeah. So it'll proactively do that. On the other hand, Chrome will just by itself hog everything down, even if it's just idle. I will show you after the stream. Whenever I run Chrome, my CPU just spikes all over the place and then it normalizes. I run Firefox, Opera, Firefox or Safari, and it's fine. Which is very odd.
Works.
Alright, so that's
That brings
for
us
all the
to,
topics for this week. We're finally going to come to our second and last segment. What are we watching? What are you watching?
So this week I finished Designated Survivor.
I have 2 episodes to go.
Okay, I won't run it. And
but the question is, why? Why?
Let's talk about this.
Is the show getting renewed?
No, I don't think so.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I obviously am watching Westworld.
Okay. Yeah.
Boom, guys! What's up, man? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Like,
I should
boom.
better continue watching it.
Season
from
2, episode 4. I was like, ये क्या हो रहा? मैं किधर है? What is happening? Where am I?
Alright.
It just takes on this new dimension which changes everything.
Alright.
It changes everything.
Alright, so I have to watch it now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Season 2, episode 3 and 4 will leave you like, what?
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. So I know what I'm doing this weekend apart
Yes.
from making videos. Designated Survivor got cancelled, right? I don't know, which is what my question was. Who knows? I hope it is. But I'm still going to finish season 1. I'm still committed to finishing season 1. What else are you watching? Watched any movies?
Deadpool is in the queue. I have to watch that.
Oh
this
yeah.
week.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be nice.
Alright.
Yes, Chinmay is like Designated Survivor got cancelled, right? Yes, they are looking for buyers, like the people, producers to continue the show.
Oh god, no. Like,
The same thing is happening with Expanse.
No, the Expanse got cancelled, cancelled.
Yeah, but they're looking for people to continue it.
I don't think anyone will be able to afford to buy it.
Yeah, they have such high
It's a
production
huge
issues.
enterprise.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have very high production costs.
Yeah. So, I don't think Expanse is coming back. I think that was a proper goodbye to the show.
Aww.
That's like, Game of Thrones being cancelled. And then, the people who produce it are finding buyers. And everyone else is like, we can't afford that budget. No chance. Same thing is happening with the
You should
Expanse.
know that Amazon is investing, I think, almost $1 billion in a Lord of the Rings TV series.
$1 billion?
Yeah.
No, because the last time I read about that show, I read that it was getting a similar budget to Game of Thrones. So about $1.5 million per episode, which is a lot of money. So we'll see. $1 billion sounds too much.
No, I'm pretty sure I read $1 billion.
$1 billion. Oh, it is $1 billion. Damn. So this article is on Maxim.com.
Also on Forbes.
# not safe for work.
Also Forbes.
It's basically everywhere. So yeah, the $1 billion figure is in the news, but we don't know how real or not it is. It's also on Reddit, so it's pretty real.
It's like loose. And with that,
So Chinmay asked, what would you like to be resurrected if you had one wish to bring back that show? Go.
No, you go first.
I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a very, it has, I think it has a, okay, no, hold on. No, not really. One show that I could bring back. One show that I could bring back. No, I can't come up with any. I'm just happy with...
Firefly.
Sorry? Firefly! Yeah! Yes!
People
Yes!
will crowdfund the shit out of
I am sure they will.
that.
I am Alright, let's open a go. What the hell?
Shaktiman. Okay, that terrible.
No. Hold on. I got to tell you what I'm watching.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
This
sorry.
is not a one-sided stream.
Yeah, sorry.
This is not a one-sided
I forgot.
No, you didn't.
I forgot.
No.
But I was like, he's starting to talk about Shaktiman.
Shaktiman.
Let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
Before we
Alright.
get to Aryaman, which is the really good stuff.
What?
Aryaman? The Star Wars one?
What?
What?
What? Okay, tell me the spelling.
Arya Man. Aryaman ब्रह्मांड का महान योद्धा वो आर्यमान है आर्यमान
Oh, is this like a Shaktiman spin-off?
Yeah, no, not
Or is it
exactly.
like a
It was the
continuation?
same actor,
Okay.
but it was just Star Wars.
Oh,
You don't remember Aryaman?
I've never seen it.
It was the Indian version of Star Wars.
I have
It was
literally
on
never
national
seen
TV.
it. I have never seen this. I've seen Shaktiman. I have never seen
What?
this. No. Never.
This is amazing.
No. Alright, so...
Aryaman for life. Hashtag.
Okay, so what I'm watching, Bill Nye Saves the World.
Is it good? People.
Season 3 is out. It's epic.
Okay.
It has, like, you should watch it. It has some really good information in there. Episode 1 was really, really cool. They showed how they are taking spinach leaves, extracting all the plant material from it. So only cellulose is left, which has the vein structure.
Hmm.
And then they, coat it with stem cells.
What?
Yeah, they coat it with stem cells, and then they can make it beat like a heart. So it can be used as a tissue replacement for the heart muscle.
What?
Yeah,
Okay. I should check this out.
you should really check it out. It's really, really cool. And it's Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the
And
Science
it's,
Guy.
and it's Bill Nye. So, okay, so that's one thing on my list. Deadpool 2 is on my watch list. I really want to watch that. Suggestion.
Start Talk Radio Podcast. I don't even know what that is.
Start. What? I have no
Start
idea what it's
Talk Radio Podcast is a show by Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
That guy is getting trolled on so hard on Twitter
Why?
because he just says the most complicated shit when there is absolutely no need to say that. And every time someone's talking about it, he'll come in and say something like, "Actually, this is this."
Yeah. So he's science-plaining.
So he's mansplaining.
No,
to-
he's science-plaining.
Yeah, so he's science-plaining.
Yep.
And he gets trolled on Twitter a lot.
I wouldn't mind if he, science-plained me something. Like, how the stars rotate or how galaxies are formed.
Yeah, but doing that all the time on Twitter.
Yeah, it can
for
get
every
pretty
topic
annoying.
It gets pretty annoying.
It can get pretty annoying. Alright, so
with that,
wasn't really a disappointment though. We need a disappointment.
okay,
We really need a disappointment.
they cancelled Firefly.
Alright, on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end the stream. Have a good night. Drive safe if you're driving. And just have a happy weekend, guys.
Also check out Aryaman, guys. Everyone, all of you, Aryaman, Aryaman.